Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, we're roughly at the middle point on the main road from Paphos to Polis, Polis to Paphos, depending on which direction you're going in. And we are in the direction of Paphos. We're going to come across village after village. We're going to get to Stromby, and we're going to start to wiggle and waggle through the hillside as we start our descent into downtown Paphos. I'd like to say thanks for coming back. Thanks to some of the superstars that come back now and again and watch the little channel known as Marika and me. Perhaps if you're in downtown Llangollen, perhaps it's damp, I don't know. Or perhaps you are canoeing down the Llangollen Canal. If your name is Michael Crompton, a very, very Calimera good morning to you. Hopefully you're having a great, great day, and hopefully the weather's not treating you too badly. And thanks for that contribution as a superstar member on the Buy Me a Coffee platform to the little channel of Marika and me. As I always say, if you like what you see, hit the like, click that subscribe. That doesn't cost you a single penny, but that tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and perhaps they should recommend it to more people who are like-minded, smart people like yourselves. But if you want to keep the channel afloat, if you want to fund us that a little bit more, we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. And the way you do it is you click through to our About page, you'll see a little Buy Me a Coffee icon, or you can Google the magic words Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and me. Up will come the landing page. You can read a little bit about us. You can see a sketch or two. One was done by a superstar in downtown Russia, Lady Nadine. Thank you very, very much for that badge, as we call it. And of course, there was a caricature done by possibly one of the greatest artists in the world, Mr. Hector, on the downtown Paphos promenade, and he gifted that to us. And it's a very, very nice caricature indeed. It even makes Misogyny Receiving the Booth look even more beautiful than she actually is. And she is very, very beautiful indeed. Now, all you have to do is hit that little button, and of course you can choose to buy us a coffee or two or three or four or five. If you're our girl in charge of the show in downtown Hartlepool, she likes to do it in tens. Dayman, thank you very, very much indeed. You'll always have that special place in our heart, that's for sure. And of course Christmas is coming, damp New Year is coming, but you're going to have a great, great time indeed. Of course, Sir Peter, Lady Purdy, yeah, walking the dog, you can have a great, great time indeed. And of course May's going to be coming around sooner than you think, and you will be resting your head on a soft pillow in the greatest hotel in the world, Alexander the Great. It's waiting especially for you. And of course on top of that, Marika and me, oh, we're waiting for you, that's for sure. We'll be picking you up from the airport and whisking you down to the downtown Paphos Harbour and sitting and have a drink, a meal or two with Coco the Pelican in the Pelican restaurant. Great times are coming, that's for sure. Today the weather is absolutely spectacular, and if you're curious to know where we are in the year, we're in the third week of November. Yes, you heard me correctly. Third week of November, and the temperature is 25 degrees, and it's not even midday. So in theory, we may even get to 27, 28 degrees. There's a slight breeze, the humidity is low. Wow, absolutely spectacular. Imagine yourself walking along the promenade, in the harbour, in your t-shirt and your shorts. No overcoats required, no woolly socks, no furry underpants or furry panties required in downtown Paphos. That is for sure. Slowly but surely now, we're going to start to climb up the hill towards the area of Stromby. Then we're going to wiggle, then we're going to waggle through the hillside, and finally we'll get to Tasada, and then we will start our descent into downtown Paphos. So don't click off just yet, and please forgive the road surfaces, because the road surfaces are absolutely Sherlock Holmes. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering what does Sherlock Holmes mean, basically it means S-H-I-T. These roads are Sherlock Holmes. Some of the roads in Paphos are even worse. We call them, well, Chichorian English, because if you remember that from your school days, I could never get my tongue around it, and I don't think many people can. So it was absolutely diabolically bad English, wasn't it? Although I know my English is not that good either. Here we are, starting to climb up. There's a coffee shop coming up on the right hand side, and I now and again stop on my travels here and get quite a nice coffee. It really is a nice one indeed. And it's quite a new one. So if you've not been on this road for, let's say, a year or so, it's new, and it's right there on the right-hand side. So if you're passing, why not pop in and get yourself a coffee or two, or perhaps a can of Coke in the kiosk just over there. This is called Gaudi, by the way, this village, and it's quite a big village. We're driving through the main road of it, but on either side of it, there's an awful lot of houses and quite a few foreigners living in here. It's a nice tranquil place, and it's pretty much halfway between Polis and Paphos. So we are probably now less than 15 minutes away from Paphos Town Centre and around 15 minutes away from Polis Town Centre. So not a bad place to live, shall we say. And if you want to go and get some beauty treatments, well, there's a girl there who will do your hair and give you a facial and do your nails and all those kind of things. But one thing's for sure, the weather is absolutely spectacular. As you can see, the sky is blue. I promise you the sea is very, very blue indeed. Mr. Paulie dressed head to toe in blue. That must mean one thing, all that's missing is you. Get yourself on a big bird or a canoe. Start paddling like crazy. Paphos, Cyprus, the island of love. Marika and me, we are waiting, especially for you. Now, for those of you who travelled this road perhaps over the years, you might know that this part of the road here that we're actually on now has a habit of falling down every 2 or 3 years. But luckily, they rebuild it. And luckily, so far, it hasn't fallen down as I've driven over it. But this is a section coming up right now. So wish us luck. That's all I can say. Because every 2 to 3 years, it does fall down. And I mean, they are started again. That little bit there has only just been done. And you could probably feel the suspension coping there. It's already started again. Whoever these engineers are, I don't know. But or perhaps they're very, very clever and understand they're creating a pension plan for them as well. Some people watching the channel know there's also another road from Paphos to Polis, and again halfway along it there's a section that every 2 or 3 years, guess what, happens to fall down. There you go. Welcome to Cyprus, as I say. But as I say, perhaps they're not as stupid as you think. Perhaps they understand that if they don't build it that well, it falls down every 2 to 3 years. They can come back and build it all over again and charge again. I tell you, oh, that's stupid. Oh, no, that's perhaps the way we should do it. Oh, that's the way we do it. Yes, with mechanics. We buy parts, put them on, knowing that they're only guaranteed for 2 years by the manufacturer. And guess what? We'll be back again. There was a big piece that's dropped away again. That's where the intersection joins the new intersection. Either someone didn't get their levels right, or it's already sinking. I think it's already sinking. Stromby Village is coming up, and that means we're going to start our descent, because we're up in the mountains between Paphos and Polis. And again, I thank you for coming back now and again. We don't expect you to watch every single video, but don't forget to come back and say hi once or twice. Big shout out to 2 superstars in downtown South Wales, Lord Jeremy, Lord Simon. I assume by all the hints that you're giving us that you are getting on a big bird very, very soon and coming to Paphos. Are you going to let us know the exact dates? Because the following day we'd like to take you to the Kid of Paphos Mile just to see how much you would like to spend. Only joking, boys. Let us know when you're coming in, and you never know, there may be a blackjack waiting especially for you. Stromby Village, here we are. We're right at the top now, and then we're going to wiggle, and we're going to waggle through the lower lands of Stromby, and then climb back up the hill to Tasada, and then you're going to get a great view indeed down across the rooftops of Uptown, Midtown, and of course downtown Paphos. That's what it's all about, so don't click off just yet. Listen to the ramblings of a complete and utter nutcase as he smokes on a Romeo and Juliet cigar, driving a Jag in absolute paradise. Look at that for a view. Over there is downtown Paphos, so stick with us. You're going to get an even better view in another couple of minutes or so. Now, I warn you now, on this road, it seems to be it's a dangerous road, and if you're travelling too fast, it can catch you unawares, shall we say. But on top of that, more often than not, in certain sections, like coming up down here, the boys, the girls in blue, can be waiting especially for you. This is a 50 kilometres an hour on this particular part of the road. They'll allow you to go to 69 kilometres an hour. They're quite relaxed, quite lenient. Whereas I say, travel around at 55 to 65 kilometres an hour. in and around Paphos, and you won't go far wrong. If someone decides to stick themselves up your bottom, well, you can do what I do. Go that little bit slower to frustrate them that little bit more, or indicate and pull over and let them go by. And the odds are you'll catch them up wherever they're going, and they'll be standing at the side of the road with a flat tyre or something like that. There you go. Stromley Village police station is on the right hand side, so more often than not, as I've said, the boys and girls quite happily stand outside with the frappe in one hand, a Romeo and Juliet in another, and of course in between their knees is the Zeppelin gun. And they're looking especially for you. But the weather, I know I keep on about it, but the weather is absolutely spectacular. If you're looking for somewhere to come in November, I think Paphos has got to be one of those places. I really, really do. Often in December we get great weather as well. We'll get the odd thunderstorm, the odd shower, maybe the odd bit of wind, but it doesn't last very long. You know, a couple of hours is normally about it, even in January and February. And there's superstars who like to come to Paphos in February. That's Lady Andrea and Sir Mart. That's the girl in charge of the traffic lights. He's the guy in charge of all of the Volkswagen parts in the world, and we do like to do a little bit of church dancing now and again, especially on the downtown Gate of Paphos promenade. And they'll be back out in February. I think it's over the Valentine's week again they're coming, because Sir Mart understands that he has to treat Lady Andrea very, very well indeed. Otherwise, she's going to slap him around the face. Very, very simple. She's a straight girl. There you go. Straight talking, slap, 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 slap. Do as you're told, Sir Mart. That's for sure. And don't forget to bring me a nice new pair of blue trainers. I'll leave the brand up to you, although I did like those ones, the picture you sent me of Sir Mart's, and they were Tommy Hilfigers. They were nice. They looked like a cross between a sports shoe and a shoe, and they were nice. So if Mr. Mart hasn't knackered them, pop them in a box and bring them especially for me. Thanks very much, Lady Andrea, and of course Sir Mart. Hopefully your smelly feet have not smelled them out too much. Hopefully they're not too stinky. I don't think he's a stinky man, so they won't be. Anyway, chuck them in the washing machine, put them in a box and bring them especially for me. The ramblings of a nutcase in a Jag with a cigar as he drives in and around Paphos. There we go. Mental asylums all over the world are waiting especially for me. We're climbing up now towards Tasada. Tasada, interesting place. Lots of foreigners living in and around Tasada. And if you live in the right place, of course, you get a great view, because it's around about 1,600 feet above sea level. So around about 500-600 feet in English, shall we say. And the views are spectacular down across the rooftops of Uptown, Midtown and Lowdown Paphos. But I warn you now, in the winter the temperatures can drop a little bit. So if you're thinking about buying a house up there, make sure it's got central heating and a log burner as well, because it can get that little bit chilly on a wintry evening. And now and again you can even get a sprinkling of snow. Yes, you heard me correctly, a sprinkling of snow. But the views are worth it, shall we say. So we're climbing up. What's in this man's box is in front. We've got an irate man in front in a silvery grey Qashqai. He thinks he's got a lot of power under his foot. I understand that he hasn't. He's going uphill. But there we go. This is the drive in and around Cyprus. If you're in a car, please be very, very careful. Most of the other people driving around you haven't got a clue what they're doing. They've got a cigar in one hand, a lighter in the other hand. They're checking on a YouTube video and they're pondering on how to drink a frappe. And of course, that's only me. I am watching where I'm going. Anyway, look at that. That's the blueness of the blue sky. As we get over the top there, you're going to get a look out, of course, across the blue Mediterranean Sea. So don't click off just yet. Paphos is coming, and it's a nice day today. It really is. You know what I'm looking forward to? Going down to the Gate of Paphos Harbour, sitting in the Pelican restaurant, having what's called a Boss's coffee and a Lenny special, and that's an iced latte coffee with ice cream on the top of it and some caramel sauce. That's going to be lovely, isn't it? And I'm going to sit there with Andros the boss, and we're going to put the worlds to rights and chinwag and chat, and guess what? We're going to smoke a Romeo and Juliet or two. That is for sure. I presume this man is turning off. I think he's got oranges in the back. What we should do is jump up, climb up, and get some, fresh oranges. That's another great thing about Cyprus, by the way. All of the fruit and veg, 99% of it is literally grown, round the corner from the supermarket where you go and buy it. So those oranges, they're fresh. That watermelon, it's fresh. That lettuce, it's still dripping in the dew from the morning it was picked. None of this packed up and shipped around the world. So if you want some healthy life, some healthy living, and a cheaper cost of living, and a much slower pace of life, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe. Start paddling like crazy. Paphos in Cyprus, Marika and me, we are waiting, especially for you. And we really, really are. The frustrated man in his Qashqai has not got very far, because now he's got his front end stuck up the bottom of a big lorry. Sasada's coming up, and then that view to die for that I promised you right from the start is going to take your breath away. Let me pause for a moment. My little Romeo and Juliet has gone out, so it's time for me to flick the lighter and gash myself to death. I'm back with you, the cigar is lit, and now we are going to start our ascent towards heaven, paradise on earth. You're going to see across the rooftops of Uptown, Midtown and downtown Paphos as we look out into the abyss of the blue Mediterranean Sea on a truly spectacularity of a day indeed in November. Yes, feast your eyes and digest. Those views are slowly but surely going to come, and your eyes are going to, you're going to die, that's for sure. Here we go, there it is. That is the beauty of Paphos. A truly spectacularity of a place indeed. Get yourself on that big bird, get yourself on that canoe, whatever you have to do to get yourself to Paphos, because Paphos is waiting, especially for you, and it really is indeed. On that note, if you like what you see, you know what you do. Hit the like, click that subscribe. Don't forget to come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter madness. And while you're at it, why not hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform and treat us to that hot latte or two. Thank you, Sir John Ricey. I'm sucked on that one, and I'll be waiting for the next one. Thank you very much indeed. Look at that. All of those rooftops are waiting just for you. It really is a great place to live, by the way. I consider myself to be blessed to have 15 years ago made the decision to leave the damp streets of North Wales and Cheshire and get on a big bird and come to Paphos. And luckily for me, a few years ago I met the most beautiful woman in the world, and of course her name is Miss Archie Gracibial Booth. That's Miss Marika, and I tell you what, we're living in absolute paradise. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Takes your breath away. I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll leave you to digest the views as we come round this next turn across the rooftops of Paphos and down into the blueness of the blue Mediterranean Sea. Thanks for watching.